Tigray military has dismantled another local Wareda level government in Tigray. For the last 2 months, Tigray military and TPLF Debascian group have been dissolving the local governments which are anti-TPLF, which have been supporting Getachew, the former president of Tigray. Welcome to My Views and News. Thanks for watching the channel. Three main news stories in this video. Firstly, action taken by Tigray military. By the way, what is Varede saying? Isn't he saying one thing and the Tigray military doing the opposite? Can we say that Varede is not in command of the military, or whatever Varede says should not be trusted? That's what I've been saying, by the way. Secondly, Ethiopian health minister is threatening doctors. Before these two news stories, I have an update for you. I told you about start of talks, direct talks between Russia and Ukraine. Talks were due to start on the 15th of May yesterday, but talks were postponed yesterday. But these minutes, when I'm recording this video, talks have begun between Russia and Ukraine to end the deadly war, which is having a global impact. Delegations from Russia and Ukraine are in Istanbul. Putin is not there in Turkey. I think Zelensky is in Turkey. He arrived in Turkey, or he was seen in Turkey yesterday when he met with Erdogan, Turkish president. Russian president has appointed a delegation to lead the talks. He is not there in Russia. What about US participation in these talks? Reportedly, Russia raised objections to the participation of US side in these talks, though a US delegation is there in Istanbul, reportedly. Initial talks have begun now, and in initial talks, Turkey is also participating. Hakan Fidan, Turkish foreign minister, delivered a speech at the start of these talks, but I think after the initial round of talks, Turkey will not be involved, and talks will be direct between Russia and Ukraine. Let's hope that the two sides reach a solution, at least they reach an agreement about ceasefire. Obviously, the issues will need time to be solved, but at least they should agree on some sort of ceasefire for a specific period of time, for a few weeks or months. Let's see. I've been coming videos about that. Now, with stories. Firstly, doctors, Ethiopian doctors are being threatened by Makdis Daba, the Ethiopian health minister. I told you last night that doctors have given a deadline to the government, last deadline, till Sunday. Ethiopian health professionals are on partial strike. They have closed services, health services in different parts of Ethiopia. Emergency service open, ICU, etc. open too, but outdoor patient service has been suspended. The doctors have given a deadline that after Sunday, they'll go on full strike. Everything will be closed. What do they want? They want increase in their salaries and some other benefits, but the government is not showing any flexibility. Makdis Daba, Ethiopian health minister, last night threatened doctor. She said, health profession has no question of a strike. No one can go on strike. If doctors, if health professionals have genuine questions, they can submit their questions while they're on duty. They cannot just stop their services, go on strike. That is not allowed. That is violation of law. She said, government is showing patience, but if these doctors who are absent from duties, those doctors who are creating disturbance, if they don't stop, government will take legal action. So the federal government is not willing to fulfill the demands of the doctor. By the way, in Pakistan, we saw a similar movement by doctors. Young doctors, newly recruited, launched that movement years ago. When that movement was launched, obviously they were threatened. They faced public pressure to people turned against some of them. New doctors, young doctors were the ones who were leading the movement, and old ones were not part of the movement, but they were backing the movement because if the salaries of young doctors are increased, obviously those appointed years ago will also get the similar benefits. Pakistani young doctors forced the government to raise their salaries. Yes, they went on strike. Strike was generally partial strike, not full strike. But even partial strike is very dangerous because people start dying. That is what could happen in Ethiopia. Yes, police was used, intelligence agency was used in Pakistan, but doctors managed to stay united. They did not give in, and ultimately government had to fulfill their demands. And doctors' salaries were raised. I think their salaries were doubled, more than doubled after them. Let's see what happens in Ethiopia. Lastly, viewers, Tigray military is still taking action on those Wareda governments which are pro-Getachew Reda, former president of Tigray, which are anti-TPLF. Obviously, TPLF is backing such actions by Tigray military. Last week, Tigray new president General Tadesse Vare, they visited Metcho, southern Tigray. He said, use of force is not a solution. It won't bring lasting peace. Issues should be solved through dialogue. People said, Sajid, Varade's talk indicates that that Tigray government will not use force to dismantle southern Tigray government, which is anti-TPLF, which is pro-Getachew Reda. I said, Varade's word should be taken with a pinch of salt. Sometimes his words and actions are different. Military is under Varade. He's the president of Tigray. He's not like Getachew. Getachew was a civilian. Varade is a general. He led military. So while Varade is the president of Tigray, another Wareda level government was dismantled in Tigray today. In southeastern Tigray, in Enderta Wareda, local government was dismantled today. Army 22 laid siege to the Wareda administration building. Administrators there were taken into custody. Official seal was snatched from them. Military-backed new administrators have been facilitated to take charge. So the older administration, which was pro-TPLF, which was pro-Getachew, the anti-TPLF, has been dismantled in Enderta Wareda, close to Makale. Could similar action be taken against southern Tigray zonal government and Wareda governments too? Yes, similar action could be taken, but military, TPLF, are delaying the action because they fear that the resistance could be difficult to handle in southern Tigray. That is why they are slow. Otherwise, had they been sure of their ability to dismantle southern Tigray government, by now they would have dismantled southern Tigray government. Meanwhile, we saw a protest in Metcho yesterday. and tomorrow we could see more protests in southern Tigray, and that is in southeastern Tigray. But now it's clear that if Varade and TPLF believe that they have the power to dismantle southern Tigray government, they won't hesitate. They will make a move, but they're not making a move because they know that southern Tigray is armed too. There are armed groups there in Afar too, and southern Tigray government could get the backing of these armed fighters. That is why Varade-led government is slow to dismantle southern Tigray government. Thanks for watching.